Fan Ho was a renowned photographer, filmmaker, and artist whose work captured the beauty and complexity of life in mid-20th century Hong Kong. Known for his striking compositions, his masterful use of light and shadow, and his ability to capture the essence of a particular time and place, Fan Ho is widely regarded as one of the most important photographers of his generation. His photographs offer a window into a world that frankly no longer exists, and they serve as a testament to his artistry and his ability to see beauty in the everyday. And because of that, I say that we take some time to shine the spotlight onto Fan Ho. Fan Ho was a Chinese photographer, film director, and actor. He was born in Shanghai in 1931, and he emigrated with his family to Hong Kong in 1949. Growing up, Fan Ho was encouraged to explore his artistic interests, and he spent much of his childhood drawing and painting. He enrolled in the English and Chinese Literature department at New Asia College, one of the best colleges in Hong Kong. It was said that he was extremely talented, that his professors and friends called him Ba Gam, or the Great Scholar. He was also an avid reader and was particularly interested in poetry and literature. But one day, the turning point approached him when he was having insufferable migraines that prohibited him from reading and eventually had him drop out of school. The doctor said that I could not be cured. The only way to relieve the pain of headaches was to walk along the street and breathe in fresh air. It was way too boring. I felt like an idiot walking around pointlessly. My father saw that and bought me a camera. After taking a photo with it, he submitted the photo to a contest and won first prize, which was a great encouragement for him. He was then inspired to use photography as a medium of telling stories from his perspective. He said, "The best advantage of photography was that it could relieve my pain from headaches, and most importantly, it fulfilled my nostalgic feelings of watching movies when I was young." His first taste of fame was sweet, but surely there was no such thing as a career in art photography in Hong Kong in the 1950s. But be that as it may, Ho's interest in photography grew as he began to experiment with different techniques and styles. At the age of 18, he began taking photographs using a twin-lens Rolleiflex camera that he had purchased with his own savings. He was particularly interested in capturing the daily life of Hong Kong streets and alleys, and his black and white images often focused on the city's architecture, people, and everyday objects. His use of light and shadow, as well as his careful composition, helped to create a distinctive visual style that was both elegant and atmospheric. He often created drama and atmosphere with backlit subjects or through the combination of smoke and light. His photography often focused on capturing the energy, chaos, and beauty of the city, its people, and the Hong Kong spirit that they represented. He also had a keen eye for composition, and his photographs often feature strong geometric shapes and patterns. He had a talent for capturing the essence of a person in a single image, and his portraits are often intimate and revealing. How did he take such incredible photographs, you're asking? Well, he was dubbed the Cartier-Bresson of the East, meaning that he spent a lot of time patiently waiting for the decisive moment. You must have the precise moment to catch the spirit, the essence, the soul of the person. If you don't have the exact moment, you have to wait for the right feeling. It's really creative work because you have the feeling inside. It feels like expecting whatever gift God would grant. Could be an old, poor, homeless man or kids having fun playing. I follow my feelings when I decide whether the scene is worth releasing the shutter. It requires such a great concentration and dedication in each photo because it costs a lot for one push of the shutter button. I am like a cowboy who only has one bullet. Therefore, I must find the exact moment to shoot. One more thing is, for street photography, composition is the most important part. We must have various composition techniques, but they should not look conducted or unnatural. He was most prolific in his teens and 20s, and he created his biggest body of work before he even reached the tender age of 28. And his work didn't go by unnoticed. He was elected a Fellow of the British Royal Photographic Society in 1956 and was ranked the best photographer in the world by the Photographic Society of America just 2 years later. He had his first solo exhibition in Hong Kong in 1959. and he won most of his 200 or so international awards for photography before the age of 30. In this photo, titled As Evening Hurries By, Fan Ho's daughter had some kind words and a beautiful sentiment. She said, "There's one photograph called As Evening Hurries By." It was the photo he loved the most, and the family loves it the most too. It's a romantic waterside setting with an old man pushing a heavy cart along a quiet street. But the deeper impact is this feeling that the man has been on a long journey, and he knows he still has a long way to go. I think each one of us can identify with that. Fan Ho said about this photo, "It's a shot I took in Saigon. The atmosphere, the mood, no longer exists. It only exists in my dream, in the image. Now it's all steel ships and Cadillacs." Fan Ho soon became interested in the burgeoning local film industry, which was just beginning to earn recognition on the international stage. In 1961, he applied for a job as an actor at Shaw Brothers, then the largest privately owned film studio in Hong Kong, and one that helped popularize the kung fu genre of films. Fan Ho dreamed of being a respected art house director like his hero, Italian film director Federico Fellini. "Ever since I was a child, I would pass the two leading cinemas in Hong Kong, the Kings and Queens theaters, and I loved to watch Fellini's movies, 8½, and La Dolce Vita. I loved his work and wanted to be a movie director like Fellini." He signed an 8-year contract as an actor at Shaw, and he starred in dozens of movies, including Inside the Forbidden City, The Monkey Goes West, and The Perfumed Arrow. In 1966, Fan Ho was the sole breadwinner of his small, budding family. He had fame, but he had little fortune. Plus, he still had his grand ambitions and dreams of being an art house film director. Fan Ho left Shaw Brothers in 1969 to develop his career as a director, going on to make over 20 films with various studios in Hong Kong and Taiwan. But his films weren't the art house cinema he had hoped to direct. Instead, he had become the king of the commercial Category 3 erotic blockbuster. His films were laced with steamy love scenes and elaborate fights. Despite his success as a filmmaker, Fan Ho never lost his passion for photography, and he continued to take photographs throughout his career. In 1979, Fan Ho's children moved with their mother to the United States to pursue a university education. Fan Ho remained in Hong Kong, visiting whenever he could. At the age of 65, he decided to step down from the film industry and move to the United States to live with his family. His daughter said that she could sense that he felt increasingly discontent about his career, that he was disheartened about what he regarded as his failure to pursue art, and he felt increasingly restless and alienated in suburban America. He had no interest in photographing the residential streets of the San Francisco Bay Area. Instead, he revisited that huge archive of negatives that he had from his 20s back in Hong Kong. He took his photographs to local galleries and they agreed to exhibit and publish his work, which had not been seen for decades. In 2000, Fan Ho held his first solo exhibition since the 1960s in Palo Alto, California, and it was a great success. After that, he continuously launched exhibitions, and his photos became popular and widely appreciated. Like this photo, Approaching Shadow, which was auctioned for more than $48,000. Fan Ho was a man of profound knowledge and wisdom. Upon returning to Hong Kong so many decades after he had captured it on film, he said, "No matter if I like it or not, change is the eternal truth and you cannot fight against it." While waiting for the decisive moment to take a photograph, he once said, "I must just wait and wait until there is something that will touch my heart." There must be humanity in art. If you feel nothing when you click the shutter, you give your viewer nothing to respond to, and you have nothing to convey. Fan Ho was a photographer of great skill and sensitivity. His photos are works of art that not only capture the surface of things, but the essence of humanity and life itself. He had the unique ability to capture the interplay of light and shadow, as well as the subtle emotions and interactions between his subjects. His work is a celebration of the beauty and mystery of everyday life, and a reminder of the fleeting nature of time. I've really appreciated making these videos about artists and photographers from all different walks of life. Fan Ho's photography is some that has immediately jumped out and grabbed me and wouldn't let go. My favorite photo of his is this one here, called Hong Kong, Venice. The man on the boat, going down this alleyway river of some sort, and the silhouette and the sunbeam honestly make it one of my favorite photos I think I've ever seen. You all probably know the feeling of seeing something and immediately it gets shoved right into a filing cabinet in your brain, like, yeah, I'm gonna be remembering that forever. Well, this photo that's in my forever filing cabinet. His work has influenced generations of photographers, and he continues to be studied and admired by art lovers around the world. And I hope that this video has inspired some of you out there watching to look to Fan Ho for your own inspiration. And with that, like always, I'm going to leave you with some more photos by the great Fan Ho, and thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time.